All right, you sweet peas, I miss you. This is going to be your assignment for Thursday and Friday, virtual days. You're going to do 3-point perspective. Yay! So what you're going to do, we're actually going to do 4 points, but it's basically 3-point inverted. So what I want you to do on the paper I provided you, or in your sketchbook, whichever paper you have, you're going to put 4 points. And a vantage or a horizon line that's going to connect the two in the middle. So we're going to start with VP1, VP2, VP3 at the top, and we'll put a VP4 at the bottom. All right, so in Art 2 you did 2-point perspective, Art 1 as well, but this is a little bit different because instead of using a vertical line to create a box in 2-point perspective like this, the line is going to go to vanishing point number 3. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take a straight edge, and you can fold up one of the pieces of paper I gave you into a straight edge if you don't have a ruler at your house, and we're going to create the edge of a box. But instead of the edge being straight up and down like in 2-point, we're going to make it connect to vanishing point number 3. Before you do that, I just want to keep everything inside this triangle. So let's go ahead and connect all these. We're going to create all of our objects, if you will, inside this area for now. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a line that goes to vanishing point 3 somewhere inside this space that I just showed you. So it's like a kite almost. So this line is going to be the corner of a box, but instead of it being straight up and down like in 2-point, it goes to vanishing point 3. Then you're going to line up your ruler with the bottom of your line and vanishing point number 1, and draw an orthogonal about 1 inch into space from the top and bottom. Once you have that, you're going to close these orthogonals with a vertical line that reaches vanishing point number 3. So line up your ruler with vanishing point 3, draw your line. This is going to be the side, the left side of a box in 3-point perspective. So then you're going to take your ruler, straight edge, line up this original line you drew with vanishing point number 2, and draw orthogonal lines from the top and bottom of that line you drew. So orthogonal lines that if I drew them all the way would touch vanishing point number 2. We're going to close it off by taking an orthogonal up to vanishing point number 3. So you can imagine this is like looking up at a tall building or something like that. So on the bottom, to give it the bottom of this box, we're going to line up the left-hand side with vanishing point 2, create an orthogonal. If I were to continue that line, it would hit vanishing point number 2. And on the other side, we're going to line up the ruler with VP1. And now you have your first object. So if you look at the examples on Classroom, you can see from my former students, they did some cool stuff. So this is your basic box in 3-point perspective. And that is from Worm's Eye View. So on the bottom, you would do the same thing. So this is why I say it's just 3-point inverted. So line up your ruler with VP4, draw a line. That represents the edge of your box. You're going to line up the top and bottom with VP1. Take your orthogonal lines to the vanishing point. Close them off with a line that will go to VP4. So the good news is every line you draw has to go to a vanishing point. That should make it easier. So the top and bottom of this original line you drew is going to go to VP2. Pardon the interruption.
Roslyn High and Roslyn Middle School staff. There's some food in the cafeteria. Please go in there. Do not socialize, and have a good little meal. Bye.
Social distancing. Okay, and then the edge of this box will also go to vanishing point 4. So any lines that you draw that are going up and down, they're going to go to vanishing point 4 below the horizon line. They're going to go to vanishing point 3 above the horizon line. So let's close off this box down here. So the right hand side will go over to vanishing point number 1. And the left hand will go to vanishing point number 2. Pretty easy. So the criteria for this assignment is that you have to have at least 5 objects above and below the vanishing point. So right now I've got 1 above and below, so I need 5 objects below. So how am I going to add more things in here? Well, I'm just going to add another line that will represent another box. And I'm going to take the bottom of that line and the top over to vanishing point 1. This time I'm going to make a really wide box in perspective. So I'm going to take the vertical down to vanishing point 4. So that's the left hand side of this box. Now I need the right hand side. So I will take orthogonals to vanishing point number 2. So basically any line that I'm drawing is either going to vanishing point 2 or 1, like I said. The verticals are going to vanishing point 4. Below the horizon line. So to close off the top of this box, I'm going to go to vanishing point 1 and vanishing point 2. So you can just keep adding structures. If you notice in the examples, you'll see that some of them have windows or openings in them. To do that, you would just create a line to vanishing point 4, because it is a line that is going up and down. Take the edges over to vanishing point 1. I stopped it there because this is in front of this box, and then the vertical goes back down to vanishing point 4. So now I have a window in that box right there. And I could give it depth if I knew where the corner was over here. But I'm not going to do that because you guys might get confused. So you're going to add at least 5 objects below. So let's see, I'll add one over here. So each line I draw is going to a vanishing point. Easy peasy. Vanishing point 2. This edge will go to vanishing point 1, and this one will go to VP 2. The other criteria on this is that you have to have a range of values. So I want you to have at least 5 ranges of values, so think about that. Darkest dark. This is an example of a value scale here. So at least 5 ranges of values in this drawing. Please don't draw your value scale on the paper though, that's just for examples. You could probably also find some other videos and I'll look for them as well. Have fun. Do Friday.